everyone, Yensid Orgist here, and welcome back to another episode of OrgelCraft. Hope you all are having a good day today. Last time, we built another house in our shattered savanna biome. And today, I have my sights set on another unfinished project. And it is right over there. Pavilion we built in Season 3, the Living with the Land Pavilion from Epcot, where the ride is finished, but the entryway never got done. I had plans to come back to it and do something with like a cafeteria style. Whoops, I missed my rockets. To do a cafeteria style build. And never had any great ideas for that, and kind of just abandoned the project because nothing was coming. Well, I have been thinking about this, and I've decided that food in this world is really not a thing. I eat cooked cod because I have so many double chests of it, it's not even funny. So, I think that I'm going to do away with this being a cafeteria-style build, and we're just going to do an interior in here. So, the thought that I have had is, so this is a whole nature-themed pavilion, and so what I'm kind of thinking of doing is I want to do, like, a 2D depiction. I think I want to do like a tree here as kind of like the centerpiece. And then we'll just kind of fill the rest of the area in. I want to do something with the walls. I have an idea on that. And then we need to do something about the entrance to our ride here and get this all kind of closed in and everything. I see that I was starting to use these mud bricks for the floor, and I think that I want to swap those out for something a little bit different. We'll definitely use them in places. So, like, I think as we, like, enter, you know, the loading area for our ride, I think we'll probably use some there, but I think in general I want to use a different thing for the floor. I'm not sure how I feel about the andesite here. So we might have to rethink that. But yeah, so we're gonna do that. And then I want to do something with the entryway here. This is not quite as steep as I thought it was. I'd like to do a little, waterfall is not the right word, but basically like a little waterway coming down here. Get some trees on the side. We do need to probably want to do a little bit of terraforming over here. And then thinking about the building, so I was looking over there, and I saw that I did do part of the building in green. And the good news is I do actually have a lot of trees here, but I'm kind of thinking that we have this green here on the lower level. I think I want to bring that a little bit higher. I was like, there shouldn't be any zombies here. Yes, there should be a zombie there. But yeah, Disney has developed a color that they put on a lot of their buildings called Go Away Green. And it is this green that just kind of blends in with the scenery, with like tree leaves and stuff like that. And so it just kind of disappears. And I'm kind of thinking that I think we want to bring that up a little bit higher on our build here. Now, I guess the question would be, I don't think any of that terracotta shows up on the inside of the build, but I guess I'm not 100% certain on that. Alright, but as we're going through here, it looks like that does, but that's intentional, and this room is all covered. Okay, so yeah, so it looks like we are all good there. So yeah, so we can change the outer walls with no problem there. Yeah. All right. So this is our zombie. this is our scientist who is working on all different things. I really thought I silenced you. Really thought you were silenced. Oh well. We'll deal with that later. So yeah. All right. Let me get some materials together. And yeah, we'll start working on the floor of this place. I mentioned, I think it was in the last episode. I'm assuming it was in the last episode because I remember mentioning it. But I mentioned that I had this whole desert biome over here outside of the city that was kind of bothering me, that it was sticking out into this bay. And the more I think about it, the more I think I want it gone. And I always need sand. That is one of the materials that I'm constantly having to gather because I use a lot of concrete. Thought I saw a creeper. I think I saw a rabbit, and there was a cactus over there. So I realized that I could kill 2 birds with 1 stone by getting all of my sand from here and working on slowly removing this awful piece of land here. So I think my plan is, if we fly up in the air, so there's a little bit of a river that goes through here. So I think my plan is to eventually remove this entire island from here. And apparently there's more out here. But yeah, so I think that eventually all this is going to go. I'm not in any hurry because I'm not getting there anytime soon. But yeah, great place to mine sand from, and it will also be practical in terms of getting rid of something I don't want. Alright, so a little bit of preliminary work done. I have cleared out some of the mud bricks. I have replaced it with andesite and gathered some materials. So as we look at this, this is not, it's not a very wide area, but it is fairly large in terms of side to side. So what I think that I want to do, so if we're using this area, what I want to kind of do is just sketch out a rough idea for a tree, and we probably want to go fairly wide at the base. So let's just start with this. It's becoming nighttime, isn't it? Yes, it is. And then we'll maybe work up to the center here. And then we'll maybe branch out from there. Maybe not quite that far. Maybe let's pull that back a little bit. And let's do the same thing on the other side. Let's maybe bring it up a little higher. And then that can maybe come down a little bit more. And I'm doing this in concrete powder so that it's easy to pick back up when we're done. And then, did I really only have 1 stack? I thought I made 2 stacks of all of that. No, I only made 1 stack of everything. Okay. That's fine. We can work from that. And so then what we would do is we would kind of do, and actually I almost wonder if we don't want that coming there, and instead we would want more of a canopy coming out like this. And let's maybe bring this, bring it all the way to the edge. I have not thought about what we would fill the outer space with. But I guess we could maybe use just whatever block we end up using for the neutral floor. Yeah, we could use something like that. All right, definitely want more of the lime, so let's go make some of that. Nope, I have nothing on me. That is a problem. I also have no dye, which is in this box. I know where things are. There we go. Alright. So then we'll maybe bring a little of that in. But we'll start this out from here. And then just kind of do a little bit of a shape like that. I think I want maybe this to come up a little bit more. Just like take that out of there. Maybe we'll put that in there. Okay, so then let's go. Do I have scaffolding? I have honey blocks. Can't jump on honey blocks. No, we're not going to scaffold with honey blocks. We're going to scaffold with slime blocks. I actually think this looks kind of good. It feels a little wide. So I'm wondering if maybe we want to bring that in a few blocks. And I think we definitely want the canopy to connect over there. So let's do that. So let's we'll just kind of fill that in there. But then what if we maybe have this not be quite as wide there. And then let's do the same thing over here. So maybe cut this off. And maybe something like that. So how does that look? Yeah, I think this looks okay. Yeah, alright. So, with that shape in mind, I'm going to start playing with some other materials. So I think I might want to try stuff like having oak logs in here. And we might do like a little bit of different color, and then I'll probably stretch it up in here. So like this, where we have all of these. That's not what I wanted. So what we would probably do is like have branches coming in, and then we would have the various leaf textures around there. And then I brought some different materials. So, like, I've got wool, I've got moss, that's not moss, that's more wool. I've got moss, I have terracotta. I think I'm probably not going to necessarily do terracotta. Well, I was going to say I maybe want something with a little bit more contrast, but that's actually kind of nice there. I don't have any brown terracotta, that's the only terracotta I have. Actually, I might have other stuff up in there. And then I was also thinking about maybe doing some glow lichen in places, and then possibly some resin clumps to add a little bit of texture to it. And then we might do some darker colors of wood just to have a little bit more interest. So then maybe we do some dark oak. Actually, the dark oak looks lighter than the spruce. So, let's just see what all we've done here. Why am I not using free cam? Because I don't feel like using free cam. Yeah, okay. All right, I'm gonna play around with this and see what I can come up with. And we have a tree, and we have a floor. So went through and did a whole bunch of texturing on that, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. You kind of have the wood fading to darker in the center, and then all the variation in the leaves, kind of darker towards the center and getting lighter. and then all the little details from there. And I think it looks really nice. And the nice thing is you walk up here and you can see the whole thing. So that's pretty nice. And then I decided to go with a sandstone floor. I wanted something that had a connected texture. Something that was fairly neutral and also kind of fit in with the vibe. So I thought the kind of tan of the smooth sandstone was a good way to go. Keeping the polished andesite for the path, and then the edging with the smooth stone slabs stacked up, and then a little bit of a railing along there. So, yeah, I think this area over here I'm going to keep with the bricks. We're going to have this be kind of our entry area to the ride, which we need to cover that up, but we will get to that because the next project that I want to work on is the walls. Now, unfortunately, this is the exterior wall, so I can replace it with the green, but that is about it. But I think that we would be okay if we actually, if we do in fact, bring it in one block. It might be a little tight on some of these corners, but I think it would be okay. I guess the other option is we potentially could come on the outside and I was going to say we could push this all out a block, but no, we can't because we have the roof that is a part of that. So that is not an option. All right. So, I have a little bit of an idea in mind of what I want for these walls. I kind of want to keep a little bit of a natural theme going. So, yeah, I need to gather more materials because I definitely do not have what I need in my inventory. Yeah, and then we will work on that. Alright, so I have gone through and set up a little bit of an edge here. I think that I might push this in by a block, but we'll deal with that later. So what I want to do through here is I want to basically have a wall that is going to be lots of different greenery. So, like, we've got some mangrove leaves here. The other thing I want to do, actually, I should probably get some shears. That would make this job go a little bit faster. But I want to go up here to the top. We'll go there. And I want to put, I want to do these slabs here. And I'm not going to be able to get all of this, so that's fine. And we'll occasionally put some lighting in, but then I'm thinking that we'll do a little bit of alternation with some different things. So I was thinking that we would do some bamboo, like that. And, you know, we can do that in different places. Like that, and then we can alternate that with things like some different leaves. So I was thinking some cherry leaves would be nice. We might do like some azalea leaves, and I think we'll do a light. Yeah, I think that's okay. And then probably some glowberries, and I have bone meal. Nope, that is not bone meal. So then we can bring that all the way down, and then we will bone meal it all the way to the top, so that we get some nice colors. Now I'm looking at this corner, and the bamboo kind of disappears there. So I think maybe what we'll do is we'll move the leaves into the corner. And then maybe do the bamboo. Or we could do another thing of glowberries. Or we could leave one blank. I was thinking about maybe having some water, but I don't know that that's going to work. So what if we do another... That is definitely not going to work that way. If we do another bamboo like that. That's kind of nice, actually. I do think that with the glowberries there, we don't need lighting there. We could definitely do lighting in some places. Maybe what we'd even do is take something like that out, put that in the ground, and then we could do like mangrove leaves on top of that. Yeah, and so then maybe what we do, so we've got, what do we got? Mangrove. What are my leaves? Mangrove, azalea, and cherry. So maybe we do... we could do cherry there. Let's do azalea there. Maybe azalea there. This we might bring... we can leave it up. No, I think we should have these on the same level. So we'll do that, and then maybe we'll go... mangrove, cherry... azalea, and then I actually think I'm going to have that in the ground, and then mangrove. And then we can do bamboo, glowberries, bamboo, bamboo, glowberry, bamboo, glowberry, bamboo. And then down here I might do something else, just because we've got a bigger wall, and then we'll mirror that on the other side. So let me get that done a second. So have the walls in. I have the walls in at least as far as here. I'm not dealing with the entrance at the moment. We'll get to that later. But yeah, this is looking good. I like the look of it. After doing the first couple things of bamboo, I got smart and decided to let them sit for a little bit so we get some of the leaves off of them. Yeah, and so then, now we're looking at this part of the building. So I laid out where I want the entrance to go in dirt, and let's actually go up top where we can see it a little bit better. So one of the things that I was thinking about is, what do you do with this area up top that's going to be on top of that? And I have actually come up with a solution for that. I don't know if I have anything. Let's see. I have thoughts, so we're just gonna do... I'll just do a bunch of those for right now. And then, where did I put my slabs? There we go. Okay, so my thought is that we're going to come over here. This is going to be the edge of this. So we're going to go up here. And then I will probably go with a double slab just to keep this... I'm about to fall off. Yeah, just to keep it consistent with the trim that we did up there. And then my thought is that we will have a little bit of a step down from here. So probably like that. Actually, do I have any dirt on me? Yes. So we'll do... I can't reach that. So we'll maybe do that there. And then we'll do that there. So we've got a little bit of a step down. And then we'll take that along. But then my thought is we would do like some kind of wall. I'm not exactly sure what I want this to look like. But basically the idea would be that like there's a floor up there that is for something. You can kind of see that, like, oh yes, there's supposed to be a function there, but it's not something that quote-unquote normal people could access. So it'd be like a VIP area. So you can see it. You can see that there is supposed to be something up there, and then we just won't put anything up there. So I'm going to fill the walls in over here, and then I'm going to get this ceiling done in here. I'm not sure what I'm going to use for the ceiling. I have the stone slabs there, so I might just continue that. But yeah, I'm going to get this in place. And I do believe our lobby is complete. I realize it's the first time I've called it a lobby, but I mean, that's essentially what it is. But yeah, so I've got the walls done all the way around here. I was able to get my water feature in, which I'm very happy about. Yeah, did some flowers, did some more leaves. I decided to kind of have it do, not all be ceiling high. And I think it looks really nice. And then did the entryway here, a little bit of a curve to the entrance there. And then just a little bit in here with some paneling. You know, I did this because I kind of liked how it looks, but now that I'm seeing it again, I don't really like how that is. I wanted to put some lighting in here, so we've got end rods up there. So I think I'm actually going to take these down. Yeah, I think that looks better. And then that makes a nice transition into the ride itself. Yeah, and then we got a little bit of a sandstone ceiling in here. And of course, when you are anywhere in this building, apart from flying into it, you cannot see what is up there. Now, I did finish this off-ish. I put a full roof on it. Obviously, there's place where part of the ride comes in. So, took that out of there. And then it's not nighttime, but I did add some end rods to the top as well, just so that there will be a little bit of a glow up top when it's nighttime. But yeah, we've got lighting tucked in all around. So this place should be spawn-proof. Not that it needs to be spawn-proof, but it is. I also added some light here under these fence posts in the poles, and I think that looks really nice. So there's two more things that I want to do, and it is I want to get an entrance and exit to this area, because it is a ride, so I'd like to have a little bit of a queue. And then I want a way for the boat to get dispensed so that we can get in it, go on the ride, and then have it broken and collected when we get out. So I was playing around in creative with a way to do that, and I think that I have that all set. So I'm going to do a little bit of redstone. I'm going to get this entrance area finished up, and we will call this inside done. And our entrance and exit queue is complete. So we come in over here, we step up, we get a boat, we get the gate opening, we hop in, we row forward, and then all we have to do is look around, and our boat will carry us all the way through the rest of the ride. And then coming back around, boat gets broken, we hop out here, our boat gets sent back, and we can walk out. And that is our ride. And as you see that night has fallen, now you can kind of see the glow that is up there, and I think that looks really nice. You get that up there, you have everything else lit up, but I don't feel like it needs any more. I think it's kind of nice to have a little bit of a darker vibe in here at night. You kind of are open to the sky. I think it looks really good. So, very happy with how this project has turned out. Now, we haven't done the interior. We haven't done the lead up. We have the phantoms, so... I'm sorry, how are you inside? So, haven't dealt with the entrance, haven't dealt with outside, didn't deal with the building. And, well, as I was working through this, I realized that was not stuff that's going to be accomplished in one episode. So we will be continuing this project next time. I've got ideas for this, and things are definitely kind of rolling. It's kind of nice to do something completely freeform for a change. Nothing planned out and creative ahead of time, just grabbed some materials and started building. And I really like how this turned out. It's so nice having this interior finished. So yeah, so I want to get the entryway done. I want to deal with the exterior building, and then I also want to possibly play around a little bit more with note block songs. Oh, look, we have parties wanting to get in. Guys, the entrance is over here. Yeah, because there's music at the beginning of the ride, there's music at the end of the ride that I think would be kind of cool to add. If you remember, we have a note block song in the middle of the ride. And so I think it might be kind of cool to do one at the beginning and at the end. So I'll have to see if I can find the sheet music to actually be able to create an arrangement of that. Guys, the entrance is over here. Yoo-hoo. Hi, yep, that's the entrance. No! This is... We are not aggressive. Ha! Okay. Hang on. So rude. Now I have no idea where I was. Yeah, so entrance, outside, note block songs. That is where that's where this project is going to take us next time. Guys, that is going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed, please be sure to give it a like and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, I would encourage you to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. See ya real soon.